Everybody. Well, I feel motivated to share something from my dad. I like to talk about the things that he taught me, because I think that he liked to teach in broad strokes, and I think that a lot of what he shared with Lyle and I was helpful to others. Now, this is specifically about becoming the man of the house. I can't. This video is specifically for you male guys out there, as I can't talk as much about the female types. But Dad had a very and Mom had a very although Dad was the spokesman. They had a very specific address to Lyle and I beginning about the age of 15. We were told in no uncertain terms that the clock was ticking, that we each had about 5 years left before we were going to give our walking papers. What that meant is that by the age of 20, we had to leave the house with no chance of support or help other than kind encouragement and go. No money, nothing like that at all. We were going to be on our own. Now, we were told that we had to ready ourselves and prepare ourselves to be able to live out in the real world by ourselves for the rest of our lives, that we couldn't come back. And it seemed a little harsh at the time. I remember I didn't actually give it a lot of thought, but as the time approached and I got up to I finished 18 and we finished up my first 2 years in junior college the year I reached 20, and then I didn't have to be told. I knew I had to leave, so I had a little bit of money, and I bought myself a Frito-Lay potato chip delivery truck to live in. And I wandered off and went off to university, and there I went. I never looked back. I did wind up borrowing a couple of $1,000s from my dad over the course of the last couple of years in university, because my car broke down and I had to rebuild the engine. But I had to do it in a budget way. I had to do it under a blue tarp, out in the open. Actually, hitchhiking to school. I lived 12 miles from school. Here's the hitchhiking to uphill both ways, right in the snow. Yeah, I had to hitchhike to school when my car was broken, but he did send me the money so I could get the parts, and I had to haul the parts out there and rebuild it out in the open like that in the rain in Northern California. Anyway, never looked back. Well, same thing happened to him. Now, he was the only one that ever tested that. He got into a really bad situation at one point in his mid-20s, and he asked Dad if he could come home to kind of, recover and regroup his stuff, get back on his feet, so to speak. And Dad just flat out told him no. And looking back, Lyle made it just fine. I made it just fine, and neither of us ever had that chance. So the point is, Dad was trying to show us, give us the chance to basically be our own men. And Mom, if I talk to my mom today, she'll basically say that's exactly what it was all about. My mom is very much into the independence thing, and there's something that is it's a gift that you get through suffering and struggling and trying to make it on your own in the world and being the head of your own household. That term doesn't get enough respect sometimes, being the head of your own household. And if you're a couple, you can share that role. But for men, it takes on a particularly, especially important meaning. I don't know why it is. It's something about our biology, perhaps. But being responsible for, being capable of providing for one's family, and to seeing after their needs, and the satisfaction that comes with that is very important for self-esteem. So if you are a young man and you reach the age of 20 or thereabouts, and you continue to persist in living in someone else's household, not being the man of the house, so to speak, you are doing something pretty bad to yourself. In fact, you are robbing yourself of a sense of pride of purpose and a sense of capability. The knowing that you are able to do that is very critical, even when times get tough. I've had good times and I've had bad times, but I've always known that I've been able to support my family and make it through. And if it meant 2 jobs or whatever the heck I had to do to get by, and that's instilled in me through practice and through the fact that there's no other option. So what I would like to do is pass that wisdom along to those whom it might benefit. Now you'll know if you're an exception to that case. Maybe if you're disabled and in such a way that you can't operate on your own in that way. And you know who you are if that's the case. And you're fooling yourself if you're not like that, but you're telling yourself that. Anyway, you're doing yourself a great disservice if you perpetuate that. If you're at all capable of taking care of yourself, you're an able-bodied person, then get out and do it. Now if you're not able-bodied, if you have some disability that requires that you stay at home, then do it to the best of your capacity. Find a way to contribute and to build upon the household in the best way that you can. Now, if you've got those who need your support, for example, you've got an elderly mother that you would like to help out. Don't help out by being at home. Don't do that. Again, you're robbing yourself of your independence that's going to be critical for your sense of well-being and self-esteem. Do it in such a way, do what I do, basically. We live next door. You live in a country where kids live with their parents, but we live basically next door to the in-laws and help them out by our proximity. But we keep the household separate. So, it's rare for me to use myself as an example, but that is a mechanism that I know is proven and works. I have to work a little bit harder. I don't have to, it'd be nice to live under one household sometimes and not have two rents. Wouldn't that be great? But then again, I wouldn't have that sense of independence. It's so important to getting by for me on day to day. So, young men, get out there. If you are 20 or you're past 20, get out, give your notice, and give 3 months notice, and get the heck out there and do it. Now, I'll finish up with one last thing, one more trudging through the snow story. I have experimented with living on meager means, and I know that you can get by on very little money if you so desire. There's there are you don't might have to live in a tent the way I used to. Yes, indeed, I did. I used to live in a tent and live on loaves of bread and special case cereal, and that was the basic level that I got. But you don't have to be that extreme. But you can get yourself a budget economy apartment, work two jobs at a fast food restaurants, and basically have no TV and no frills or anything at all. But you can carry home your self-esteem and your pride of self every single day, and then it's only uphill from there. So get out and do it, men. And for you women, talk to your moms, and they'll tell you how to address womanhood in a likewise manner. I'm afraid I can't quite do that, but a lot of what I said applies to you gals too. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Be independent. Get out there. Give your notice. Go out. Live on your own.